What's up, YouTube? Blood Rampage here, bringing you Project Cars 2. This game came out, what, a little bit ago? Not too long ago, but just long enough. This is the second installment of the Project Cars series. I enjoyed the first Project Cars series. What they did with it was actually pretty nice. The only thing that sucked was no car customization. So it was kind of a bummer. Now, I mean, it still doesn't have car customization, but the gameplay has vastly changed and made a big improvement, in my opinion. What they did this year for the career mode is they changed things up quite a bit. This year, instead of going in a straightforward line, doing a bunch of races, and then doing your invitational events throughout that year, what they did this year, you choose one of these. You do, see, I'll show you. You could do full-length races, or you could do the short length calendar races, and it only has you do 2 races for this, and then it'll have you do 3 races for this one, and you're finished with that championship. And then you come back to the screen and go on to the next one. So they made it shorter so you didn't have to worry about doing so many things, but it allows you to do every single one of these championships. So what they feature, they got the Formula rookie stuff, which brings you into the Formula C, Formula Renault, Formula A, Formula X, and then the IndyCar. This also takes you into the sports car lights, the Proto C, the LMP3, the SCR World, and the Global Endurance Trophy, which that one is terrible. Just saying, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Your go-karts here that you can do, that takes you into the Ginetta GT5, which splits off into GT4, the Lamborghini Super Trofeo, I guess, I don't know. And then you got your Porsche Cayman Cup and the Rennsport Revival, taking you into GT3 and the PWC GT. Then you have your Ginetta Juniors Challenge, taking you into the Clio Cup, the or the Group A, the RX Lights Regional, which is a rallycross racing, the RS 1 Renault Trophy, the RX Lights International, the TC Masters Euro, the RX Euro, the RX International, and the TC Masters International. These 4 are annoying, and this one is annoying. What you do with these 4, you have to do, each race you have to do, if you don't do qualifying, this is what you do for the races. 4 qualifying no matter what races that include 4 laps apiece on a small track, so it's not super long, but it's just frustrating. Then you do 2 races with 6 laps apiece in them. So to get through one race of these, you have to do, what was it, 28 laps to be finished with it. So it's pretty annoying, and most of these have at least, let's see, yeah, so some of them you could take it down to 1, some have to be 2. If you go full, then it's 3, so it's frustrating. The endurance races, if you turn the length of the races down as far as possible, the first 2 races are 32 minutes that you have to do. Always make sure you get gas, because I went through the first endurance race on there. I had 5 minutes left in the race and I ran out of gas, and guess what I had to do? Restart the race so I can try to win. The last race, you definitely want to make sure you get gas, because it's the 24-hour Le Mans. With it being the 24-hour Le Mans, the lowest amount of time that you can do that race in is 2 hours and 13 minutes. I sat here for 2 hours and 13 minutes, and I completed that race. Never ran out of gas. Came close. Had 1.1 kilograms is what they go by for gas in here. And I made it into the pit. almost went past the pit, but I made it in. So I was able to win that. Now what they do with the manufacturer stuff, they added affinity levels to everything again, or in this year's, like Forza's had and everything, and all the other racing games. What you do, race in those cars, gain affinity, and then you get the proving ground events. What you do with the proving ground events, they see if you're worthy of driving their vehicle, and then they give you 3 extra events that you have to complete to become like a champion of their class, which I can kind of show you a bit. Let's see. Trying to find something that's not like super long that I could show a race of at least. Sure, let's... Actually, I'll do that in a bit here. The invitational events, you unlock these by doing certain objectives. They're anything from classic cars to using certain track cars, and they have a Hot Wheels challenge. Low grip, so these are most of your ice tracks or dirt tracks and off-roading. These are your road tracks that you can do. The supercars, Lamborghinis, Aston Martins, anything considered a supercar. And then you have lifetime goals. To get certain trophies and stuff, the Hall of Fame, you got to get 4 of the major lifetime goals, which is Jack of all trades, National Pride, Zero to Hero, and Ambassador. Now, on the left-hand side of what you see are some of the lifetime goals. Zero to Hero, you start at Tier 1 championships, which is like the go-karts and everything, and make it to Tier 6, which is like the endurance races and whatnot. On the right-hand side of the screen I showed before, twice at the top, you got to win 2 different Tier 1 motorsports. I won all of them, so I got that. Then the Triple Crown, you got to win the Indy 500, the Zero GP, and the Le Mans 24-hour. Jack of all trades, won 3 championships in 3 different motorsports disciplines, which just means you got to win 3 championships in like circuit races, off-road races, and stuff like that. Finish on the podium 50 times in a driver's career. First place, second, and third place, I think they consider podium. Welcome abroad. Became a brand advocate for a manufacturer. My first one I went through all 3 was for Audi. And then You're One of Us Now won all factory drive events for a manufacturer, Ferrari. That's how you get your lifetime goals. They also have certain trophies. Since I won every single race, I have every single trophy. Accolades, these you get for winning certain championships. You only have to get 50 of them, but I've done quite a bit, so I've gotten 70 so far. There's 160 total, but all it does, it involves you winning certain races and certain things like that. And then, of course, back to my career aspect. The other things I want to give a quick rundown of: quick play, you could choose any sort of maps that you want to race on or tracks, any certain cars, any certain weather. It's crazy what you can do. They do have dynamic weather, so it changes automatically through the races. You can do a private testing session, which allows you to test certain cars and certain tracks. You can do online events, which most of the online events you can join in and like spectate and then join in later. They are going to be trying to do esports with Project Cars here. You could do time trials with online people, and there's community events that you can do. Now the last installment had these community events you had to complete like 30 of or whatever to get a trophy for. You don't have to worry about doing a single one of those. The only thing you got to do is try playing a ton of online matches, which kind of sucks. You see here, I've played 27 hours. I started 307 races. I won 206. Reason why that is because I had to quit some because I freaking lost, and it's annoying. I had 58 pole positions, podiums, and everything like that. And then, I mean, you have your calibrations and audio, the gear and whatnot. So I will show you one of the manufacturer drive events. Let's see what one looks the easiest. Definitely not doing a rallycross one. That's 3 laps. That one takes a little while. Let's see. I guess I'll go with the Lamborghini. Oh yeah, this is a short track, so it won't be too bad. So these are the proving ground races. This just allows you to work for that certain manufacturer, do those 3 races that I did for like Ferrari, Ford I was working on, and a couple others. That just lets you do the whole thing, so. And that also earns you a trophy and earns you more of the accolades that allow you to unlock different races for the invitational events. But yeah, you got tuning setups you can do. You could actually adjust your car before the races. You could set up a pit strategy. Yes, I just have them named random letters because I had to do it for a trophy. You could look at the rules and regulations for the race, which there isn't any. And you could start. There we go. I was going to say, why is it not letting me see my car?
3 wide, you're in the middle.
Now, it will give you commentary like that, like you might hear through my mic. That's coming from your pit crew.
Superb, that's a fantastic start.
Now I do have my stuff adjusted to the lowest level, I will not lie. Just because it saves a lot of hassle when you're trying to win the races to go for trophies like me, since I'm a bona fide trophy hunter. But, I mean, you can turn it up a bit. I have it turned all the way down, so it's pretty easy. First corner, I normally take over someone. Unless it's the rallycross racing, then it's annoying because I lost a few of those just because I couldn't get past them. And I guess it's because I suck at the rallycross, or it's because it's just crazy how those races are. Now, I'm curious why it does not have my HUD up. Maybe it should have that on. I don't know why that was turned off. There we go. So I've already done 1 lap, and it's not too bad. If you see the meter in the bottom right-hand corner, not the speedometer, but where it shows the tires, your tires actually do adjust temperature in here. With that, you have to make sure to watch that your tires are not like mine and make you go off track. The more you drive on the track, the warmer your tires get, and the more they'll stick to the track. That is helpful information when you mess with any of the ice tracks, or your car starts off with like blue tires. If they start off blue, that means they're really cold, and you will not want to just hit R2 or RT, depending on what console you're playing on, because this is on both PlayStation and Xbox. You do not want to just slam on the gas for that, because you will spin out, most likely. You want to slowly start speeding up. If you see a corner, you want to start slowing down before you get near it. Otherwise, you will fly off the track like I did in my second lap. The engine there, I think the engine was the little boost. You can get certain boosts on your car. God dang it, I didn't pay attention to the track. But it's like your turbo. If you got a turbo on it or whatever, certain cars have a certain turbo that give you a boost whenever you hit the gas fully. If you do see on the speedometer, it does have the oil temperature, and it also has like my ABS lights and stuff to show that I have an anti-brake system on, or anti-braking system. And then it also shows a fuel meter Like I said, for some reason the fuel meter goes by kilograms instead of like liters or gallons, so it's kind of confusing.
Great job. You were the best out
So
there
I won
today.
this race,
First class.
I got the podium, and then it will show us here. Let's see, it's going to take a little bit to load. Okay, so I got an accolade for winning the Lamborghini Proving Ground. And now I have 3 invitational events that I can do for it. And those just, you gotta keep doing whatever ones are first. This one here, it's a 6-lap race that I gotta do in it, so. It's relatively simple. They made the career a lot simpler so you don't have to worry about doing 40 different events in one season and hoping that you actually finish it. You just go straight through those races, and then you could save the invitational or the affinity level ones for later. So, all in all, if you really enjoy racing games and don't care about customization, want realism over that, have a steering wheel, highly recommend this game. This game's actually really fun to play. I wish I had a steering wheel for it, but unfortunately I don't. With Gran Turismo Sport coming out, I don't know how many people will end up buying this, but I myself really enjoy it, and I'll still play it a bit even after I get Gran Turismo Sport. I'm just really more hyped for Gran Turismo Sport. So, with that said, I still totally recommend buying this game if you do like the authentic driving, like simulation, like the Forza games, Gran Turismo. Project Cars is right up there with them. Doesn't have as many cars and doesn't have as much customization, but it definitely has really great gameplay. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you learned something about it and maybe possibly want to get it. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.